Hello everyone, in this video we do the objective question of Paradise Lost, an epic poem written by John Milton, a prominent poet of metaphysical or Puritan age, and this age is also known by his name, Milton's age, the age of Milton. So let's start with the question. Question number 1 is, Milton's unholy trinity of characters include. What characters are included in Milton's worldview of unholy trinity? So let's first know what comes in holy trinity. In holy trinity comes the Son, the God, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. So this comes in Holy Trinity. Now let's talk about Unholy Trinity. In Unholy Trinity comes Satan, sin, and death. So the answer is B, Satan, sin, and death. Sin is the daughter of Sin is the daughter of Saturn. She is born out of his head, and when sin is born, Saturn rapes sin, and out of that rape, death is born. When death is born, death then rapes. So death is sin's son. When death is born, death rapes sin, and hellhounds are born. So here the answer is B. What comes in Unholy Trinity? Satan, sin, and death. Now let's come to next question. Paradise Lost is considered an what? It is an epic poem written in 12 books. Next question is, Saturn's name before he fell from heaven was. Before Saturn fell from the heaven, he was an archangel and his name was Lucifer. Next question is, the battle between God's army and Saturn's rebel army of fallen angels lasted for 3 days. On the first day, God army won. Second day, Saturn's army won, and the third day the battle was led by the Son, that means Jesus Christ, and the fallen rebel were hurled out of the heaven. Next question is, so the answer is 3 days. Next question is, in the phrase, thy seed shall bruise our foe. So what is the seed refers to? Here the seed refers to Jesus Christ. In the phrase, thy seed shall bruise our foe, thy refers to Eve. Next question is, there are two archangels who serve as generals in God's army. They are in the army of God. There are two archangels that serve as the war generals, that is Michael and Gabriel. Michael is the war general and Gabriel is second in command. So if one is asked who is the general, you have to answer Michael, and Gabriel is second in command. Next question is, for inspiration in writing the poem, Milton says he depends on who? He depends on the Holy Spirit. In the book 1, Milton invokes the Holy Spirit. She invokes the muses, the same muses that Moses invoked to write Genesis. So in book 1, Holy Spirit is invoked, and in book 7, Urania is invoked. In book 7, let me write it for you. In book 7, Urania, heavenly muse, Urania is invoked. Next question is, for inspiration in writing the poem, Milton says it depends on Holy Spirit, that we did. 9th number question is, earth is described as being connected to heaven by what? Earth is described as connected to heaven by a golden chain. So when God created earth, the construction of the universe is like that. At the top there is heaven, at the bottom there is hell, and in the middle there is earth, and the earth is hanging by the heaven with a golden chain, and the earth has been created out of chaos. CHAOS, chaos. The earth has been created out of chaos. So the answer is, earth is described as being connected by heaven with what? With a golden chain. Next question is, sin was brought out of Satan's head. Sin is the daughter. Again I repeat, sin is the daughter of Satan, and she was born out of his head. When she is born, Satan rapes her, and death is born. Their son, death, is born. Later we find that sin and death are the keeper of the gate of hell. Next question is, Eve before the fall might best be described as. So she is a docile and vain creature. 12th number question is, throughout the poem Satan transforms himself into many creatures. Which creature does Satan not turn into? Options are mouse, cherub, serpent and toad. When Satan enters into heaven for the first time, when he enters into heaven, so he goes in the form of cherub. Later, when at that time the gate is guarded by Uriel, and when Uriel finds out that some Satan fallen angel has entered into the heaven, he informs it to Gabriel. वो Gabriel को inform करते हैं, और when Gabriel sends his 2 archangels to find out who is there, so that time Satan hides himself in the form of toad. Later again Satan enters into the heaven, into the earth, a Garden of Eden, in the form of serpent. So these 3 are the form that he takes, along with a black mist. He takes the form of black mist. He takes the form of cherub. Satan takes the form of cherub. He takes the form of serpent. He takes the form of toad, and he takes the form of black mist. And when Satan lands on the Garden of Eden, he lands on the tree of life in the form of cormorant, a seabird. He lands on tree of life on the form of cormorant. That is a seabird. So along with cherub, serpent and toad, he also take the form of cormorant. So what is the form that he does not take? It is the form of a mouse. He does not take the form of a mouse. Next question is, who might be considered the most friendliest and most sociable of all God's angel? When God gets to know that Satan is about to corrupt the innocence of Adam and Eve, so he does not want to be blamed for not warning Adam and Eve. So he sends an archangel whose name is Raphael, and Raphael comes and he dinners with Adam and Eve, and he talks with them in a very friendliest manner. So the most friendliest of all God angel is Raphael. Lucifer is the Satan. Adam is the first human created by the God. Michael is the general of God's army. So the answer is Raphael. Next question is, question number 14 is, every day before the fall, Adam and Eve went out to work. What did their work consist of? So their work consists of tending to the Garden of Eden. Next question is, the reason for Saturn's fall might be best described as, it is his pride. What is his pride? That when God created his son, begotten his son, he called all the angels and asked everybody to bow down before his son. But Lucifer had pride. He assumed that he is next to God or he is equal to God. So because of this pride, he rebelled. So his fall, the reason for his fall is his pride. Next question is question number 16. The reason for Eve's fall might be described as her vanity. Vanity for her beauty. On the second day of battle in heaven, what does Saturn use that surprises God's forces? The battle in the heaven lasts for 3 days. 3 days. On the first day, God win. On the second day, Saturn creates artillery, especially cannons. With the help of that, the Saturn army win on the second day. So what does Saturn use? It is artillery. Next question, question number 18 is, Adam, Saturn and Eve herself are all dazzled by what? They are all dazzled by Eve's beauty. The main reason for Adam's fall might be best described as his love for Eve. Next question is, when God sees Adam and Eve, God sees that Adam and Eve have disobeyed them. Who does he send to judge them and the snake? So he sends his son to give judgment over them. Next question is, inspired by Saturn's victory over men, what does sin and death construct? Sin and death construct a bridge from hell to earth. Construct a bridge from hell to earth. Next question is, after they have both eaten from the tree of knowledge, when God created men, he forbade only one thing, that that they cannot eat from the tree of knowledge. Eve was seduced into eating the fruit of the tree of knowledge, and when they eat the tree of knowledge, Adam does not want Eve to have punishment, so he punishment alone, so he also eat from the tree. And after that, what is the first act they do? So the first act that they do is to satisfy their sexual desire for one another. Next question is, the archangel Michael might be described as, so the archangel Michael is the general of God's army, and he is a firm and militant type of angel. When Michael tells Adam what will become of mankind after the fall, he is actually narrating the story taken from what? He is actually narrating the story taken from Hebrew Bible. Next question is, what are the best words to describe the Garden of Eden, the weather and nature in general before the fall of the Adam and Eve? So before that, it was ordered and rational. So this is the set 1. In next video we do the set 2 of Paradise Lost. Thank you.